GSL.
What's up, guys? We're Tastosis, and this is the GSL VODs. It's day number 2 of the round of 4. We got a lot of people here in the studio today. The winner here will go on to the finals to face off against Classic.
Yeah, and as you can see here, a lot of employees of Jin Air Green Wings. Well, of Jin Air, I guess. The Green Wings is the name of the team. Great to have them down here, though. Guys, all the flights today for Jin Air are canceled because all the stewardesses are in the studio.
Here is what we have so far here for the finals. As you can see, Classic already made it. He beat Maro in some very convincing games. Maro played very well, but Classic just had all of his numbers. Today we're going to do Sue against True, and the finals will be Saturday. Not tomorrow, but next Saturday.
Yeah.
So don't miss out on that.
Indeed. It's going to be fantastic. And today's match should be quite good as well, Tasteless.
Yeah.
It is ZVZ between two really great and very different players.
Sue has been in the finals so many times. He's starting to remind me of Stork. He's not somebody who's quite, becoming the champion quality yet, but he's still very good. The last games we casted of him, he was playing brilliantly.
Yeah.
Very convincing in his ZVZ. So I'm curious on how he's going to do here today. True, very good at ZVP. That'll also make for an interesting finals against Classic.
It certainly would. I'm excited to see who gets through. Who do you want first before we...
Sue.
You want Sue through?
I think that would be really...
Third GSL finals in a row?
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun.
I think he needs to back down and share. I want True through.
We're going to go to the interview now with our two players, see what their thoughts are before we start today's match.
이렇게 제가 본 룩스땡 물결 중에 가장 바람직한 룩스땡 물결이 아닐까 하는 생각이 드는데요. 자, 오늘 이렇게 분위기 좋은 가운데 저희 프랑전 시작을 하겠습니다.
I was just saying thank you to all the beautiful supporters here at the studio today.
출자가 탄생을 하는데요. 그것도 같은 적은 이 방태수 선수와 어윤수 선수.
Okay, so after tonight we will know the final list.
과연 결승전에 직행하는 선수 누가 될지 만나보도록 하죠. 안녕하세요.
Two good friends here today. We'll be interviewing both of them. They say hello to each other.
쌍수록이라고 얘기를 합니다. 지금 저희 팀과의 만남인데 오늘 소감 어떠세요?
Both their Korean names are Sue, so the people are saying this is the double Sue battle. He says, we're actually really good friends, so I feel kind of sorry that I'm going to have to face him today.
자, 방태수 선수는 어떠세요?
And she's saying, are you apologizing in advance? He says, yes, I am. And what about you, True?
네.
친구들만 만나는 것 같아가지고.
네.
It's the same for me as well. We're good friends.
저번에는 완전 자신감 없으시더니
And it's kind of awkward.
왜 이렇게 자신감이 생기셨죠?
오늘 네.
But you're looking pretty confident today.
자신 있진 않은데.
네.
You know, honestly, I'm not that confident.
네.
But there's a lot of support here today.
아, 네. 정말 어깨에 힘이 들어가시겠습니다.
네, 오늘만큼
He's just laughing.
좀 약한 모습을 좀 안 보여야 될 것 같아가지고.
네.
So I guess I shouldn't really show a lack of confidence here.
승무원분들의 응원도 절대적으로 받고 있지만 최근에 진에어 선수들의 활약을 놓고
So recently,
진에어 래핑 효과를 또 말씀하시는 분들이 많습니다. 이 진에어 선수 우승 시에
in Pro League, Jin Air has been getting some really good results.
화끈하게 이행해 주셨잖아요. 혹시 그 효과가
Do you think it comes from players getting the powers
그것 때문에 네, 모든
from their the little backstory here? They're putting player faces on the airplanes. So she's asking if that helps boost their confidence. And he says, yeah, it actually really boosted our confidence. And we're really hoping to show great results.
참 어디 가셨어요?
She's saying, where's your company support? Where's your face on the airplane?
네, 힘은 난다니까 참 다행입니다. 사실
And he says, I don't care, I'm still confident.
한 자리를 차지했잖아요.
Most of the countries watching this on SKT1 internet.
나는 일단 올라가는 게 확실하다.
So I've heard from Classic.
올라와 이렇게 말씀을 하셨다고요. 그 자신감.
You said to Classic that you're more than prepared for the finals. So is it gonna be easy for you here today?
아, 참 자신감 있는 모습 보게
I think even if it's not me,
방태수 선수가 지금까지 자신 없는 그런 모습.
my team is to be saying the same thing.
4강전까지 왔거든요. 그래도 참 독특한 매력.
True has been showing some pretty unique character and play style here. What are your thoughts on that?
완전 반대 성격을
어,
가지고.
그래요? 자, 그렇다면
He says he actually has the opposite play style and character from what he's normally showing in the broadcast.
인간 관계에서도 뒤통수를 잘 치나요?
아니 인간관계는 윤수가
So-
정말
네.
훌륭.
He said Su's one of those kind of friends who's more likely to fool one of his own friends. And he says no, he's actually a good guy.
오늘은 아예 이제 앞통수를 치겠다고 말씀을 하셨어요. 준비되셨나요?
아, 네.
And Su said he's going to be tricky here in front of everybody today.
원래 그러니까 스타일이 뒤통수 스타일이어가지고 하루 만에
Su's style is a little bit cheesy, I think.
뒤통수 치지 않을까.
So I think it's going to be hard for him to change that here against me. I'm just going to have to be very careful.
자, 어윤수 선수 그때 앞통수를 치겠다 말씀하셨는데 역시 하루 만에 바꾸기 좀 어려울까요?
모든 사람들이 다 알고 있듯이.
Last time you said you're going to trick True. What about today?
네, 많아요.
Well, everybody knows that
사실 이렇게
everybody knows I said it, so
보여주시는 게 어윤수 선수이기
I'm sticking to it.
정말 이 예측하는 데가 어렵습니다. 자, 우승 트로피를 놓고 오늘 이 두 선수가 싸웁니다. 서로에게.
So today, very difficult to predict.
먼저
Before we start,
어윤수 선수?
let's get the last words to each other out. Su?
많은 지네어 분들과 팬분들이 많이 와주셨는데
굉장히 챙기시네요.
지금은 지네어를 응원.
True's got a lot of support here today, a lot of fans, a lot of beautiful flight attendants here
네,
from Jin Air.
알겠습니다. 자, 박태준 선수
So I hope you get some good results, True. And True, your final words.
네, 일단 윤수가 오늘 윤수의 앞길을 오늘 막을 것 같아가지고
네.
좀 미안하고
I think I'm going to stop him tonight,
앞으로 네
and I feel bad for him.
많으니까 기회가 길을
But don't give up, Su. You might still have a chance.
네. 자, 박태수 선수는 좀 더 인사를 해주셔야 될 것 같습니다. 지금 진에어가 결승에 진출한다면 창단 이후 최초거든요. 이 진에어 팬들과 또 앞에 계신
She's encouraging him to say some more words because there's so much support here today.
한번 말씀해 주시죠.
제가
Any words to these
저번에
beautiful women, True?
프로리그 때 오셨을 때는 제가 그때 졌어요.
Last time
네.
that they came to Pro League,
오늘은
I lost my matches, and I felt bad about it.
이기도록 열심히 하겠습니다.
But tonight, I'm going to do my very best to show great performance.
응원 많이 받으신 만큼 힘내시길 바라고요. 자, 중계진이
And that does it, guys. We're going to send the players to the booths. It's going to be a best of 7. All the maps are preset,
중계진 나와주세요.
so a lot of preparation going into this. I'm excited, Tosis.
Yeah, should be pretty good between these guys. Take a look and see how they got here. Pretty sick set of players on the way. Notice that Su was defeated in the round of 32 by True.
Yes.
It's an important thing to note. Can True do it here in a best of 7? A lot of people probably predicting Su, but True
Yeah,
has
I
his
personally am
chances.
predicting Su. I got to say, the last ZVZ I casted of Su, I mean, it was the most one-sided ZVZ I had casted in a long time. I was amazed at how well he played. I mean, I'm sorry, I wasn't with you. It was with Wolf that I casted those games. Wolf said this, and he was exactly right. This was a perfect game, perfect series from start to finish. I mean, every ling that was there to scout got in. Every moment that you could deny the drone plane in the hatch, it occurred. Any moment that you could dupe your opponent or sneak past him, Su did it.
Well, that may be, but this is a different opponent he's up against in True. And
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
just
true.
True's style overall, yeah, it is true. His style overall, I feel like, is better for ZVZ than some of these other Zergs, such as Solar.
What are your thoughts are if True goes on to face off against Classic?
I think that match I wouldn't miss for the entire world. I was just a complete fan of the way that True played against Zest.
Yeah.
With the Ling Corruptor Queen style.
That was beautiful.
It was pretty awesome, and I really want to see that again with the SKT1 team putting over a week's effort into preparing for specifically that.
Here we have our map lineup. Ultraseam Stronghold, Merry-Go-Round, Overgrowth, Frost, Habitation Station, Way Station, and King Sejong Station.
All right, well, it is ZVZ, so can't get too much into what this map order means.
Yeah, just note these guys have had a lot of time to prep for this. SK Telecom, Su's team, the best team in StarCraft.
It is, without any
We had
doubt.
to tally up all the way back to the early Brood War days. The best team, it's SK Telecom.
Yeah.
These guys really have an amazing way that they prepare. Some some of it I would say almost secretive. I mean, you got to wonder what exactly is their training regimen to make them so good.
You know, Jin Air, I would put as like maybe about the third best team.
Jin Air is very good.
Yeah, like of course SK and KT you got to kind of put up towards the top, but Jin Air has like a really stacked lineup. For instance, we had Maru in that other side in the top 4. 2 SK, 2 Jin Air players in the top 4, but Zest almost made it in too.
And we got to keep in mind how exciting it is that Jin Air is sponsoring a StarCraft II team.
Yeah.
It's really good for StarCraft, I mean, to have a commercial airline here sponsoring them. So if you're going to come to Korea, definitely consider that as an airline to take.
Yeah. Jin Air is more of a regional one.
It's
I
more
believe
regional.
it is a
I think they go
spin-off
to China some too.
Yeah, I'm sure that
I
they
believe so.
they do like China, Japan, that type of like within this region. I don't think they go to like America.
Well, connecting flights.
But I think it is actually like, you know how airlines have smaller airlines that they make?
Yeah.
I think this is a smaller airline of Korean Air.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't know that.
So look that up, and if
We'll
so,
Google
fly
that
Korean Air.
after the cast. Your predictions for the score? I'm saying it's going to be Sioux 4-3.
It feels like a Sioux 4-3, but I do want it to be a true 4-3.
I think True against SK Telecom, having the two team, or it's True against Classic, excuse me, having the two different teams, the rivalry there.
Yeah, it would be
that
a truly
makes it really
classic
exciting.
battle.
It would be indeed Artosis. Wow. Artosis is back, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm back. This is my best stuff ever.
I think it'd be really cool. Oh, True, there's going to be a small delay here. I was just informed. True needs some extra time to set up here. So
he wasn't
some time
informed
to
that.
kill.
He just made that up.
I was informed that. You heard it in my ears.
I heard
You're
it.
a bad
he's
man
crazy.
and you're a liar. All right, now he's ready.
Oh, wow.
And we
How
heard that too.
convenient.
So we're going to be going into this game now. Sioux against True here. Sioux, if you've not been following StarCraft 2 in a while here, this would be, if Sioux wins this, his third finals.
You can
but not
argue
being a champion.
The argument is now there that Sioux is the best Zerg. Like, you can argue like Life, Soul Key, Sioux. Jaedong is kind of still up there, but I don't know if you can argue him as heavily as these other guys that are always in GSL.
Yeah.
So, really strong play. But, the way that True played against Zest, I wonder if this guy's going to pop up and really, stay solid and consistent. It's hard to say. Because he's done, pretty well, and he's done better each season. But
nowadays, it's really the Protosses that you keep having new ones come around the block and doing so well.
But I think that time of Protoss actually ended. I'm pretty sure it's the time of Zerg right now, and I think that people haven't noticed yet because they're still frustrated by Protoss because it's easier. I understand this from StarCraft 1. It's easier to be frustrated by Protoss. When you see how hard it is to kill a single Zealot, you're like, okay, this is stupid.
The amount of damage that one probe can do to after scouting a Terran's base is remarkable. Steal the gas pylon, manor pylon.
Yeah.
Harass SCVs.
I mean,
build a pylon to block the ad. I mean, the list does not end.
That time is over, though. I'm telling you, it's the time of Zerg right now, and we're gonna have Zergs rising up again.
I gotta say, I was, as great as Classic played, I was a little bit bummed that Maru didn't make it.
Maru definitely, he took some risks to try to win that series that didn't pay off, and I think that is probably the biggest part of it. It was very sad to watch. I avoided all spoilers, and when I got into set 5, I forgot it was a best of 7. I'm like, oh no, Maru's dead! And then
That's so funny.
He wasn't, but then he did very shortly after die.
It's time to start our match. Sioux against True. We'll move on to the finals of the GSL Codex.
Hot 6 GSL Season 2 Round 4 Sioux versus True.
All right, they're both sharing the top.
All right.
This is a huge map. Doesn't mean we can't see some early aggression, but keep in mind it's a little bit more forgiving if you have anything to spot outside their base and they send a bunch of lings or roaches at you. You definitely have a few more seconds prep time.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny map because, specifically in Korea, ZVZ is almost always just pure roaches all over the place. And on a bigger map like this, you definitely can see people use mutas. Sometimes we do see that here. For instance, I believe Sioux used mutas recently on long spots on Way Station. I'm trying to remember exactly who this was. But that aside, we could see mutas here. But if we do see roaches, it's a situation where, no matter what, they're going to get maxed, and someone has to do a pretty significant misplay to die because the travel distance is so long for roaches that it's like you just have enough roaches when they get there that for them to attack is almost foolhardy.
Yeah. I would love, actually, even if Sue makes it, I would love to see him win or lose, just because of the kind of narrative that builds.
Oh, you mean if he makes it to the finals?
Yeah, if he makes it to the finals.
Yeah, like does he have 3 second places in a row?
Does he become Stork all of a sudden from StarCraft 1, where he's like getting so many second places?
StarCraft 2.
Yeah, ranking from StarCraft 2 is another great example of that.
There was actually several of these guys in StarCraft 2. In StarCraft 1, the only memorable were Yellow and Stork, but like in StarCraft 2, Marine King, very memorable for that. And then a little bit less memorable, but similar still, like Alicia. He got so many seconds, like in a short period of time. It was actually very, very sad.
Well, it's incredible too, because Alicia's a great player, but you think of the brand recognition you get from somebody like Nesty, who's done very well in GSLs before, and the difference between that and somebody who gets second place right now.
Yeah,
like let's say Sue gets to the finals again and loses, and then he doesn't get into the finals for the next several GSLs. I mean, wow, that would be going down the path of Marine King or Alicia.
Yeah, it's
different legacy there.
Second place is a lot harder to remember.
It is.
And it's a lot more likely that if you win a GSL, you're not going to retire and stuff, even if it's just one.
Yeah.
Like, how many GSL champions do we have that retired? 0?
I believe it's exactly
For
0.
second place, we've had a ton retire. A ton. Marine King retired, came back. We had... What is his name? Oh my God! See, this is actually really hard to remember. See, I was just snapping there to try to remember these
up
names,
in my mind,
man.
yeah.
But like people who get second place, a lot of times fade into obscurity and leave. Rain, he was a second placer. July Zerg.
Oh my God! Yeah, July Zerg from StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. Well, he lost to MC.
Yeah,
that was in Dejan that we casted that in.
It might have
or
been
Daegu,
yeah.
one of the.
It would have been Dejan.
Our trip to Dejan and our trip to Daegu, I actually completely can switch in my head. I don't know. I don't know which one.
I remember those differently a little bit. 2 totally different places.
I'm like, I don't know about that, Artosis. Well. So we got the hatch now coming down here. Third base for True. He is going to have his link speed finish up here. Yeah. Sue getting his gas is a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this goes down, because sometimes we see speed versus no speed when you're getting the third base up, so that you have enough lings to hold things off. But then oftentimes what will happen is you'll have to go into roaches and really make a lot of roaches to go with your lings, because you have the lings to make sure you can hold the base, whereas your opponent powers a bit better and will get oftentimes a bigger roach army. But that isn't decided yet. We haven't really seen what they're doing.
Yeah, he really did go a far way out there to get rid of that Overlord. Do you think there's a chance he might go for some serious aggression coming up here?
I don't think so, actually.
Don't think so?
No, I think that True is going to sit tight on his 3 bases. Like, I think he'll make a group of speedlings and run around and kind of try to make sure that the third base is as late as possible for Sue, but no real aggression, I don't think. I think when you take a third base on a big map like this, you use the third.
To go off what you're saying, too, I mean, it's much easier for Sue to just hold the ramp here. So he did drive that Overlord out. We have both players droning up heavily here. And the Roach Warren just now starting here for Sue. Meanwhile, for True, his Roach Warren about to finish up. Nice little wall in there.
It looks like he's going to go straight into speed and +1 attack. Now, luckily for True, he actually started the +1 attack before this Evo it finished up for Sue. So that's actually quite nice. So he won't be behind on upgrades at all. What he will be behind on is he won't have Roach speed, and obviously that is even bigger than +1 attack. But you gotta give somewhere. You have an extra base up quicker.
Yeah. Man, I'm super duper. Oh, Tosis. I did miss you.
You should have.
How was your flight back? How was it flying without me? How terrible is that?
It's like the worst thing ever.
I definitely go to a lot less events than you, but I am so lucky that I have someone to be with on every one of those events. But man, when you're alone on the plane, I have this moment every time I'm on a plane, if I'm alone, where like about 5 hours in, I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I got to get off this plane. My iPad was not properly charged before this flight. I'm losing my mind here.
The one nice thing of flying without you, though?
What's that?
Is that nobody, when they get bored, wakes me up.
This is true. I do this. I'm like, Dan, you got to wake up, man. We got 2 hours.
Well, you do it in like a way that you think is sneaky, where like you shake my arm a little bit. You're like, did you want something to eat? It's like, well,
funny.
Obviously not.
This
I'm asleep.
is so funny because this is absolutely true. I'm so bored and lonely on the plane. I'm like, all right, Artosis, we got 2 more hours before it lands. I woke up. You got to wake up. You got to talk to me. I'm lonely.
It's pretty funny stuff.
So the roaches are coming out now. Sue's just cranked out about 7 more. There's 10 more here on the way, and they're both going for the roaches. They're both going to go for the +1 attack.
This could be pretty scary because he's about to have speed. And look at how many more drones we have for True. He has 12 more drones right now.
Also, talk about committing here. Sue is sending the queens out, too.
Now, this is really interesting because even so he has so many more drones, he's actually keeping up in the army supply. Look at that, 70 against 74, not so bad. Doesn't have speed, though, so he can't really dictate these engagements very well at all. So he's going to have to basically stay on this little bit of creep and do his best to get good surface area. And we are near his rallies. I think that True is not going to take any real damage here.
Yeah,
but
I think you're probably right. The queens are about, they're about halfway there.
Ooh.
Nice snipe.
Yeah, that's every little move like that is super important because they're close in supply, and there's only a tiny edge for Sue.
The roaches are coming up now. Again, Sue's going to have to be very patient. It does seem like True is pumping out enough roaches to match this, but when the queens come up here, the transfusions, that's going to be the real story. Now we have some additional lings coming out here. The lings make a little bit quicker. They can tank a little
he's
bit more.
going for it. We do have all these speedlings coming in to try to help out, actually doing a good job there. There's a great surface area for True. Of course, these queens helping out quite a bit, but the Queen of True helping also.
And a dozen more roaches about to hatch here. Sue's reinforcements are catching up. He has not pulled any drones yet. So far, True does seem to be pretty confident in this engagement. We have some more roaches. Actually, no, there's no more roaches coming across the map, but True is going to hold this.
Yeah. And this is kind of what I was talking about before, where this map is so large that it's really, really hard to attack with roaches. If this was a bit of a smaller map, Sue probably would have broken him. When you're 12 drones up, you don't have roach speed, there's a good chance on a different map that he could have done some more serious damage. Maybe not completely broken, but like gotten a big edge there. Instead, here we are, and you have to give the edge to True. He's got more drones for longer. He's got more roaches.
A really fine line that True stayed on there.
Yeah.
Having exactly the right number of roaches and keeping that drone lead. This is going to be tough now for Sue. Sue has to play catch up. 55 drones to 68 drones. True in the lead. There's a lot more flexibility here for True. In fact, True now going to make a macro hatch.
Rightfully so. Getting that macro hatch out. He should be doing these things.
Yeah.
He's had a lot more drones for longer, and this is one of the ways to get ahead like that. He actually won the battle, which means he got ahead in units as well. He's got double Evo against single Evo.
For the time being here, it looks to me like True does not have to win with some kind of timing attack at all. He can just sit back and start producing everything. He's going to get to the finish line of the supply before Sue will.
Yeah. I know that there's some tabs in the game, such as the money spent on army and stuff like this, and like units lost, but there should really be something that is total amount mined, because I wish that at the end of that battle we could have just turned on that tab and it would explain this game very, very well for everyone at home to see the total amount mined at that moment.
That's actually something Blizzard might want to look into, because that would actually be
I've talked with a lot of people and everyone agrees that's really the only tab missing.
People overhype certain tabs like APM sometimes. People are like, oh my god, look, he's got 300 APM. I'm like, yeah, but he's got 9 drones right now in one building, so his APM doesn't actually mean anything because the application of the actions per minute isn't going towards anything meaningful. But a tab like that would actually be really good, because there are a lot of games where they can be summed up very simply by this guy has successfully sucked up more resources on the map, therefore his output is going to be better at this phase of the game.
The best that we can do right now is show that there is a supply lead for True.
Yeah.
But you look at it, it's like, well, the drones are the same. They're about to both max out. Yeah, we see that, wow, this is awesome. He is getting way over a max.
This is sick.
He's going to cancel all those, by the way.
Are you sure? Are you sure he's not going to go for the 11 spore crawler?
No, he's not. You're like, you don't think he just needs Viper food? No, he wanted the extra units.
Wow. Well, with this, he's gonna overmax.
Yeah.
And with this attack, I mean, this is an army that's so big that the game wasn't intended to let you have it. And so this massive band of roaches was barreling towards Sue's corner of the map.
This is a gigantic army. This is like really cool. He's got an additional upgrade as well, let's not forget. And he does have Burrow. I don't think that's going to come into play during this battle, but it does help him to regenerate very quickly. So we'll see if it gets used at some point, like a back off into Burrow.
Yeah. Okay, he's coming out here. Now, this small ridge over here at the top makes it a little bit trickier for these roaches to spill through, but it looks like he might not go for it anyways. Oh, nice catch here. Now, look at this. This is really smart.
That's
He's
literally
zoned
all
out
he
the
needed
player.
to do.
Yeah, that's all he needed to do. He zones out the player. Sue's trapped in space, sends a few links to kill off the hatchery. Now, it's up to Sue to figure out what to do, and there's really not much he can do at this point in time. Look at the minerals mine right now. It's 3.6K.
Yeah.
He can remake his roaches once he gets below the max point.
Yeah.
He can remake these roaches really quickly.
Look at this economy. It's just so crazy. And, you know, Sue is doing the only thing he can do, which is go to Hive.
Yep.
Now, I'm really interested to see what he wants to do with the Hive. Like, I think he's going to grab a couple Vipers and +3 missile attacks. I think that's the plan. Because, of course, if you have a couple Vipers, if you hit Blinding Clouds just right, then the roaches, like the second and third file roaches, won't be attacking.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't even matter if he has better surface area because his stuff can't attack. And that would be like really big. Other than that, really, it's just that +3 missiles. And nothing else seems to make a lot of sense to me because he doesn't have any melee upgrades. So Ultras, even though they're pretty good against roaches in a situation like this on 3 base, probably
I think
not.
Sue got out. Yeah. All right, he's a little bit hesitant here. Problem is that Sue is running out of time. I mean, granted, True is not taking a lot of resources from his base. Oh my God, he's out.
Well, here we go. This is a rather large attack right here. Of course, we do have a little bit bigger army for True at the start of this. And you can see that reflected in that army supply.
Now watch the supply count over here at the upper right. Notice how many more minerals they have. Right now they're both holding the R button down, making lots of roaches. And we'll continue to be remaking that.
Yeah, look at this. He's microing out of range of the queen and that spine that was just finishing up. So really smart moves here by True, and decides, you know what, I'll just wait for my remax. This is totally fine. I have map control and an additional base.
Yeah, really nicely done here by him. And regroup it. Again, Sue is really in a tough spot here. I think there's a high chance True is going to attack again shortly. Just waiting for the rest of these roaches to come out. And we have him once again.
He's keeping these ones, by the way.
But he's also...
he's keeping these spores, Stasis.
He needs all these spores, Artosis.
He needs 29 spores.
He needs... Well,
he's getting ready for
whenever
Swarmos.
you ever... Yeah. But with this much, look at this. He's going to be nearly 30
so
supply
awesome.
over. This is so sick.
The only player I've ever seen really dedicate to doing something like this much is Sen.
It's too bad, Artosis. I was really hoping he was going to make all those spores and move them across the map and then put them underneath Overlords inside Sue's base, but I guess he just doesn't see
with
the
that
game
many,
like
you'd
I do.
probably kill all of them before they die. You know what I thought he was going to do is make a cage for the roaches. He's just going to walk them right up, like 3 thick, and just make a cage so that he can go in and kill the base before the roaches kill the spores.
He's got the roaches now outside here of Sue's base.
He has 230 supply. I've never actually seen a number that big in StarCraft II.
I don't think we've ever casted somebody breaking the supply.
Look at his army supply. He is up by so much army supply, and he's just going to hit into this again. This is just such good play by True. I'm like,
look at this. Look at how ridiculous this looks. Like, there's like,
thank God we can zoom out. This would be like the worst battle ever to watch if we couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to run him over. And keep in mind, the income right now for True is so good.
Yeah.
Watch, he's staying maxed out now. Sue's doing the same thing, but Sue's floating right at a little bit over 1,000. The queen dies so fast.
Oh, man. How do you do it from here? He wants to kill this base real bad.
Yeah.
But he might be getting himself stuck. I think it's time for him to actually back out of here.
Yep, I think you're right.
Wow. If he's actually backing out, I think a lot of Zergs would have actually killed the hatch there because he could have.
Well,
but then he would have lost a lot of units.
You know, but then he also had the money to remake those units. You got to keep that in mind. I mean,
and you got to keep in mind the larva count too. If you lose too many roaches, you actually won't be able to remake them if you don't have enough larva, even if you have the money.
That's very true.
And that's
as well.
one way we have definitely seen players lose in the past. And this has been from. I'm actually starting to get chills here because True. This has been a god level ZVZ from him. Yeah. I am not joking here. He has played this so perfectly with the oversupplying, the quick third base on specifically this map.
Here we go again.
God, this
maybe
is
he's
so
going to
good.
keep him this time. No, I guess not.
Now, he was a little bit lazy that time. Only went up to 215 supply.
Yeah, he could have made a little bit more, especially considering what his
money's at.
His money's at, yeah.
The thing is, does he have enough drones to do this? He needs to
take
turn
all
all
of his
60
drones. Yeah.
I don't know the math on this, but
they can't quite make enough roaches. He has to cancel them all, actually losing a lot of money.
He's like, oh. Yeah, don't forget, he loses
You
a little
do,
bit of
yeah.
money every time.
Yeah.
But look at the banks. It's like so much in his favor, and that's partially because of these cancels. He's just taking better engagements. Sue's having to refill more roaches each time. I tell you, like, Sue knows that True is winning. But I bet you if you asked him, what is your opponent's bank, he absolutely wouldn't say it was that big.
Yeah.
I bet he'd be like, yeah, you know, it's probably 4.5, 1.5, something like that.
Probably floating even with him.
He's like, no, Artis, you dumb. I know it's 6,075 minerals right now.
I'm one of the greatest circs in the whole world, Artis.
I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I feel like it's hard to be able to tell that.
Don't you tell me what I'm thinking and feeling, Artosis. I'm Sue.
I'm sorry, it's my job.
The roaches are coming out now, and they're going to go ahead and once again hit
now,
this location. He could also deny this hatch.
Sue's ahead in upgrades, right?
Yeah, Sue was, I think, a 3-2, and I think True's at 2-2. We could check again.
He's okay. Actually, Sue's almost at 3-3.
That's definitely something important to note. Oh God,
okay, he just started
it here for True.
Yeah.
Now,
so
this could be the way that Sue could start to engineer a comeback. I mean,
yeah,
when you're both
totally.
maxed out, and plus burrow roaches, everything else. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do here. Also note, Sue not opting to overmax.
I'm not going to be dumb and do the math on air right this second, but if that changes the amount of hits to kill roaches, because this is only roach versus roach, if there were other units involved, like some hydras, then I would take the 3-3 over the plus 15 supply easily.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure the exact math on actual hits. If it doesn't change the hit math, then it doesn't really matter that much, but it may, and if it changes the hit math at all, having 3 less roaches is not as bad as having -1 on upgrades, obviously.
Well, Sue's starting to push out now, trying to get the right concave here. All right, now talk about real confidence here from True, considering he's at an upgrade disadvantage.
Yeah, notice that supply again, just popping right back up consistently.
And this goes to show you the difference between those upgrades, you know.
That's all that was. He had 3 more roaches, and this still happened like this. Crazy.
You can see he's running around, and look at this, the Spire's about to finish. So he might actually throw all these roaches, and then guess what? Maybe we'll once again see Spore Crawlers, but maybe they won't be canceled this time.
It's pretty funny.
And you can see the way that True's reacting. True is expecting for more roaches to keep coming out here from Sue.
And in fact, he did remax, but with that Spire coming up, we don't know if he's going to continue that. He may switch into Broods.
Yeah, he could do that for sure.
I mean, I guess he could go into Mutas, but he doesn't have any upgrades, so it scares me a bit. You have no upgrades, and then he throws on Hydra's Den. It's like 3 Hydras kill how many Mutas with 3-3 against 0-0?
Yeah, seriously. Sue's coming up here now, and he's going to try to go in here and knock True back. A lot of Spine Crawlers about to finish over there, so he backs up. This is a smart move. He just needs to get this hatchery and the one right below our screen. Meanwhile, a counterattack here from Sue. Sue heading up to that, or it's True, rather. True heading over to that 4th base in the center left.
A little bit painful there, but I guess it's good that he's at least getting some counter damage done over here. 2 spines slowing him down quite a bit, though. This is tough. That 4th base feels like it's going to go down, whereas this one won't, but at least he's denying some mining for a bit.
Nice catch here. Oh, where's the Overseer with him?
How do you do that, Tasus?
Oh, Artosis, just like your baby, you haven't developed object permanence yet.
Where'd they go? They were roaches there. Really nice that he's sending it to the 5th base, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, so this is actually we're getting to this pretty cool part of the late game here. Yeah. I mean, but resources are scarce right now. Nobody has a healthy, functional base they're gathering minerals from.
Well, Sue is actually like just grabbed the lead because of 3-3.
Well, you know, I have to say, I feel like True definitely should have been able to keep a lead here. Oh my God, is he going to be able to get this hatch?
Oh my
God, he's going to get it.
You know, look at the income right now, Tasus. Plus 1,000 minerals per minute for Sue, plus 60 for True.
I think Sue's actually done it, man. I think this is the point. I think there's actually a lot of ways. This is going to be a choose your own adventure for Sue on how to win this game, and there's definitely not really a way that he can do it wrong from here. I mean, that killing the hatch has stifled the income so much. Yep.
For sure he's all in. Look at his... yeah, I think so, right? I mean, you don't just sit back, try to make your hatches, then mine again, do you?
You're saying that, but then he's making the 2 hatches now.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, though, the difference between where Sue was at when he was behind and where True is pretty scary. I mean, Sue was not long distance mining when he was down on bases. So this is a lot of room where Sue's going to get way more
You can't
money.
attack into this. Look at that concave from Sue.
Yeah.
God, yeah, you can't, like, you just can't attack. The thing is, Sue might be able to end up attacking. We'll see when these hatches finish and he gets his economy back up, because Sue was in a position like True with this type of money against that type of money, both maxed.
Yeah.
But Sue has really good income right now, and True does not. Oh, God, True's actually attacking here.
Okay,
This is not good.
I think this is the beginning of the end, guys. I mean, if you're watching the minerals here from True, they're not going up, they're plummeting, and watch, it stops right there, 27.
Yeah.
He is not getting much more, and this is an economic checkmate here from Sue. Sue is going to win game number 1 after, I gotta say, a really commanding performance early on there by True.
You know, that is the case, Tasteless.
I really wonder.
True played like serious God mode, and then Sue did the only thing he could do, which was get better upgrades. That was literally the only thing he could do. It was his only chance.
Yeah.
And it was like, it did the job exactly.
Now, for the first time in about 15 minutes, we have one player who's not maxed out or nearly maxed out.
Yeah.
We have the price plummeted now to 134 here for True. You know, it's tough for Sue to know exactly what his opponent's supply is at, but it's definitely there for Sue to take. Sue can close this out right now if he wants to, if he knows he can. And it looks like he's going to do that now.
Yeah, there's really no reason for him to hold back any longer. It's so funny. He's actually sending spine crawlers. Oh, okay. Sending those down actually to defend his 5th, but looks like they're going to be found. Run!
Spine crawlers move off creep. It looks like they have arthritis or something.
It looks like they're creeping along, but there's no creep.
Thanks, Artis. Glad you're back, man.
Yeah. I know you are. Don't pretend.
We got the roaches coming up here now, and this is like the last spot that True is holding on to that's going to give him any chance at all of winning this game. And notice there's just a few roaches over here attacking this. He's trying to, he's basically zoning out this huge blob of roaches up here from True.
He's making it as painful as possible by killing that base with 3 roaches, because then he loses like nothing in the main army, really.
This is very, very safe from True, and also very frustrating right now. Or very safe from Sue. Very frustrating here for True, definitely.
Yeah.
Losing all these drones.
That's so painful, because like you're, oh God, you just want to go stop that, but you can't.
Yep. And look,
he's gonna have to GG. This like we're gonna see a battle because you don't want to leave with this many roaches, but he wouldn't be wrong to.
Damn. A really frustrating way to start off this best of 7 here for True. True was looking absolutely brilliant, but he did not close it out. He did not keep the lead.
Notice how Sue even brings some roaches at high ground to get even more surface area.
This is why Sue's got some of the best CBZ in the world. GG, True loses the first game.
Yeah.
And Sue's got to be feeling very, very confident after that first game. Saying, wait a minute, I didn't even so much beat you as you lost that for yourself. I mean, Sue played very, very well, but damn, I mean, True not with the 3-3. True not able to keep the expansion denied from Sue. There was a point, remember we were saying that we think most Zerg players would have taken out that 4th hatchery down there at the bottom that Sue was holding.
The fact that True ran away there, just like everything about his play there was really godly, except not getting the 3-3. Like he just kind of sat there and kept trying to kill with the overmass of roaches. But if I'm Sue, actually, I think I get a bit more nervous right now because yes, True showed a flaw there, but up until that flaw, everything he did was better than what Sue did. And like I'm sure all of us have had games where it's like you win only because you got like 2 more upgrades or something like that. And while that's great, and you're like, well, I'm just so smart for upgrading, you also have to look and be like, oh, I only won because I got 2 upgrades. What if he somehow remembers to get 2 more upgrades? Yeah,
to remember to do all the things you're supposed to do in the game to win.
It was a conscious choice not to get the upgrades, but you know what I mean. Like, if he had made that, instead of like going up to 230 supply like 4 times, if he had gone high and gotten 3-3, then he's got like a bigger bank, and I've been out playing Sue all game. So I don't know. I don't know how this series is going to go. I don't think that Sue should be too confident here because as far as I'm concerned, True played that game overall better.
Let's see what he does on the second map here. It's merry-go-round, so it's definitely got different structure from Ultraseam Stronghold. I mean, Ultraseam's so big, you can't get in these massive, macro games, huge Roach v. Roach battles. This map a little bit different. If it does go to the macro game, they're both going to be expanding towards the same direction.
Yeah, oftentimes it's. Yeah, if you expand towards your opponent, that's kind of weird because then the roaches get there quicker.
Exactly.
It's probably not something you want to do.
So they're both going to be pointing towards whatever the third starting location is going to be here.
Yeah, you would think so. Well, should be interesting. I guess if one of them wants to get really aggressive, they can take the third towards, like one of those games where you don't even drone it that much.
Yeah, where it's just a production point. It's like an
it's
outpost,
just a rally.
essentially.
Yeah, because it would rally a lot quicker like that.
All right, our game is now loading up. If you're just now joining us, True had it against Sue, but Sue managed to survive and then close it out with great endgame play. Let's see how True plays now on the map merry-go-round. This is game number 2 between Sue and True here at the GSL Kodak.